After a promising start, Frank decided that the protection racket was chump change and faking werewolf attacks was the way to go for some real money. But sadly, while he was smart enough to start a panic, he was not smart enough to know not to attack a hunting party all by himself. And so Death claims Frank Cranky Fist Kershaw and gets ready for the next challenger, who is none other than Tyrus Bellows, a paladin of Verasi. Sent to a newly discovered land as harbinger of the Verasi invasion, and to make the people ready for their new overlords. His feet have barely touched the soil of this new land before he hatches a plan to poison the local lord named Jacob. Unfortunately, shortly thereafter, he is challenged by a duelist and loses, and soon Tyrus finds himself in a prison. He spends his time there well, harassing guards, filling the weak Lord Jacob's soul with such terror that he flees the trial and finally causing a prison riot in which he escapes. Verasi would no doubt be proud. During the escape, he makes a new ally, a tongueless mage with whom he flees the city in a stolen boat. But soon they have to abandon the boat to evade the ships searching for them at sea. He meets a farmer and his son, who he promptly attacks, but the farmer gets in a lucky cheap shot and knocks Tyrus down. Luckily, his new ally saves the day, and Tyrus wakes in the now deceased farmer's hut and decides to take a rest and get to know his companion, who is named Mouse. He seems to know about the Verasi and the impending invasion. Mouse also seems eager to help bring about the death of Lord Jacob. Will Tyrus's poison plot succeed? Will he make it through a battle without being knocked out? Find out next time on Dicing with Death.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dicing with Death. It is currently 4:13 in the morning here in Romania. Sorry for the slightly late start. I crawled out of bed like 20-30 minutes ago and I had to get shit together and move laptops around and everything. But we are here more or less on time with some fabulous Dicing with Death.
Yes, indeed. How is Koibukan off?
Koibukan so far is going pretty fantastically. Aside from when I went to the bus station in Vietnam, the bus station was gone, like leveled. Like Lauren drove me to the bus station on the back of the motorbike, and as we're approaching it, there's like a giant fence around it, and there's some backhoes inside of the fence, and she's like, the bus station's gone. It was like a 3-story building, and it's just like, poof, like leveled. So we drove around for 15-20 minutes looking for the new bus station, then eventually just saw a bus going along and followed the bus until it took us to a bus station. But since then, it's been pretty good, and I'm pretty pleased to be here.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Any info you need to get out of the way, or shall we hop right into some Dicing with Death?
Yeah, let's just do a quick sum up of Koibukan. If you haven't been following recently, Koibukan is the catch-all for my trip throughout Europe. So I'm hitting 12 countries, 19 cities, and I'm staying with various viewers and fans the entire way through, and then I'm playing D&D with them all. So we've got this series called Tales of the Wandering Bard, which I'm quite proud of as a name. And basically, at each place I go, I will be doing like a kind of like a Dicing with Death style one-on-one with the people I'm staying with, and they will all be playing the same character, and it'll be that character's various travels through parts of the world, as long as no one kills that character by doing something stupid, which would upset me greatly. But that's that. And sweet Mother of Jesus, once again, I've done it. I have used the wrong overlay, or the wrong resolution, and some of our dice rolls will be cut off.
I think our overlay is fucked up, isn't it?
We have a
Isn't it always
16 by
farmhouse?
10 overlay, but now I have a 16 by 9 window, so maybe we should get these replaced with some good 16 by 9 overlays one day.
Or just crop it to fit. That works, right?
Yeah, we can just crop it. Someone's saying your volume's pretty low.
No, I'm just not talking, but good try. Thanks, chat.
All right.
I can turn it up a little bit, but I think it's mostly that I'm not talking.
Okay. I've lowered my volume, and I think that should be good now. But thanks for the heads up, Drago. So, Tyrus is your name, correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
Bellows. Tyrus Bellows. The Paladin of Verasi. And I got my ass kicked twice last episode.
Yeah. What is your HP?
But I'm definitely. I just woke up from dead. So I think we played a little bit of post consciousness at the end of last episode, but I can't exactly remember. I don't think anything has happened. I'm at 1 HP.
Yeah, I think you were just.
I'm in a hut. I'm like a farmhouse that I went down before I even got to look at
Right.
my surroundings.
That's right. You got beaten up by an old man. And what was his name?
Yeah.
Mouse came in and saved you.
A critical hit from an old man. He dealt like 5 Yes, Mouse is the name of the tongueless mage, the muted mage.
The muted mage. Perfect.
Way to put it.
So here you are in this hobbit hut, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Do I wake up? I don't think I wake up slowly. I think like my heart starts, I don't know, pounding all at once, and I just leap up in a start at 1 HP whenever I regain consciousness. Like, what the fuck happened? Where am I? I think we did role play the scene out where he told me his name was Mouse. We were like writing on the floor together.
Yeah.
And I was actually glad for once that I spent a proficiency slot in reading and writing. One of my 3 non-weapon proficiency slots is reading and writing. So I got his name. And I'm like bandaged up, right?
Yes, very crudely bandaged up.
Yeah. But it looked like he was a proficient healer or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So my first activity of the day is going to be to like survey the farmhouse and the surrounding countryside. Secure the perimeter. I probably will even suit up before going outside.
Okay. Stepping outside,
So
the vision fills you with hate. It is a soft, peaceful, rolling hillsides, sheep off in the distance baying. You think you can even hear the laughter of children blowing across the wind from some village nearby.
All right, so
Exactly.
I'm okay. I sit there on the porch and like start strapping on my leather. Or am I still in my armor? What did the mage
No,
do?
you've been taken out of your armor because you were unconscious for a couple of days. Yeah.
Tyrus doesn't wear much under his leather. He's probably got like another pair of leather pants underneath his studded leather pants.
He's got like tight booty leather pants underneath.
Basically, but other than that, he's totally. So I'm just like shirtless and in my.
You're shirt cocking it.
No, the other way around.
Okay.
Other way around.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yuck. The most disturbing sight on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put my armor back on. I studded leather. God, I smell like piss. And blood.
Uh-huh.
Only some of it's mine.
Most of it's yours.
Most of it's mine. Yeah. So I secure the perimeter. Does Mouse just stay inside?
Yeah, he's just munching on some food right now.
I showed him the nightshade, if you recall, and we seemed to agree to the general plan of killing Lord Jacob.
He's got an axe to grind with Lord Jacob. I mean, you can derive whatever reasons, but I think it's pretty obvious why he's not too happy with Lord Jacob.
Yeah. I can't quite put my. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's not. I can't quite make the connection there. I've only got 6 intelligence.
All right.
So I like troll the garden. I'm trying to figure. Do I see fences or
No, no. It's just soft, gentle
are there
rolling
are
hills.
there crops in all the dirt, or is it just like open land?
This area seems to be grazing ground for sheep and goats and cattle and horses and stuff. Whatever eats grass.
I see animals. They haven't fled.
Off in the distance, you can see, cresting a hill 3 miles out. You can see some sheep
That's
being
like
tended.
so. That's like the that's about as far as the human eye can make out.
Okay, yeah, because it's up on like a slight hill off in the
Tyrus,
distance. You can,
I have 11 perception, so I'm not pretty
yeah.
average dude.
Ah,
So I think 3 miles is pretty typical. I think that may even be like off, like that's like distance to the horizon, including like obscurement and stuff. So it doesn't even matter how good. Anyways, the farthest reach of my vision.
yeah. There you go.
So I pace a little perimeter around the house. Is there any like are there plots of land where they're farming vegetables or something like that? Or
No,
can I see,
this whole area seems to be grazing.
and there's just like a house in the middle. Is it like a one-room shack? Is it a
Yeah,
warehouse?
it's kind of an
A
old,
barn?
broken down shack. It seems to be like a maybe some sort of shelter, a temporary shelter, because it does fit a flock.
Can I sort out where that guy and his kids were before I went out in a humiliating fashion?
This all the countryside looks the same to you. It could be.
I saw, yeah. Where are the
Uh,
bodies? You said there were some in the cabin, or no?
Yes, there's the body of a small child in the tavern, in the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there were no other bodies in the building.
No, whatever happened to the old man, you don't know. The child is rotting and smells pretty awful. Oh, there's also a body of a dog.
I think you might have said that.
Yeah.
Yikes. Tyrus don't give a shit though. He's immune to disease, and he has questionable moral standards.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I will like walk a couple hundred meters to the nearest hill and take a look at the surroundings, and then, yeah.
Okay, give me a perception check from the hilltop. And is this a hill in the direction of the goats you saw, or the sheep, or in a different direction?
No, I don't really care. Biggest hill that I can see, like yeah.
Okay.
20. So I miss unless there's a bonus because I'm on the biggest hill that I can see. I have my sword, I assume, like mouse. Drag.
Yes.
I think I had it drawn when I went down.
Yeah, he put your shit together and dragged you out.
I don't think everything else would have been secured to my person, but my great sword, my bastard sword, was.
Yes. Okay, yeah, you scan the terrain and see nothing. You see nothing. There's a soft breeze blowing on the wind.
I take a knee and I like grab a fistful of the grass and realize I have no idea what I'm looking for or what I'm looking at. But I need to get healthier so I can do what I do best.
Okay.
So I'm gonna plan to spend. I'm at 1 HP, so I'll go. I guess I'll go back and try and have a conversation with the mouse.
Okay. You find him in there, feet propped up on a small rock, leaning into a pile of soft fur of an unconscious sheep that he seems to have just bludgeoned to unconsciousness so he could have a pillow.
Okay, first. Okay, I walk into the room. Does he turn to me or does he?
He opens an eye as you walk in.
Occupied?
He just opens one eye, looking at you.
I give him a nod. I unbuckle a dagger
Mm-hmm.
from my. Actually, my stuff was removed, so it's probably. I probably did. I put on my belt. I was it on my
Yeah,
belt.
you said you put your
Fully
gear
scanned.
on, so you
Yeah,
have
so
your
now
stuff
everything's
together.
back to me. I toss a dagger over to Mouse.
Okay. He looks at it and then looks back at you.
I, it's better than a club. I,
He,
you may need it. I don't know if this farmer had any friends come snooping around.
he turns it over in his hand a few times and then just tosses it back at the ground at you and shakes his head.
I shrug. I stash it somewhere in the shack. Then
Okay.
I just like spend a minute shoving it like under if there's a raised bed or like a something like somewhere where I would know where it was, but it's not immediately it's not immediately in sight. So quick access, but not visible to someone.
Yeah. Yeah, there's,
Just like shove it under a desk or I don't know what the.
there's a horizontal beam that the slats are nailed to, but that you can like stick it in the beam between the beam and like a loose slat that it would not be apparent unless someone was scanning the sides specifically for weapons.
Yeah, so I'll throw a dagger in there.
Okay.
And all right, is this the root, the nightshade root, still on the counter or something?
You find it in one of your packs.
Okay.
Or yeah, it's somewhere.
I had showed it to Mouse last time, and I think Jenna given it to him or told. I don't know. He seemed to know what it was and what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So is it still in my person or in my bag or?
Yeah, it's still in your possession.
All right, I'll hang on to it. I point to it. I pull it out. I'm staring at him awkwardly, even though he can understand me. I guess I'm not talking much.
Yeah. He kind of just looks at you.
I'm gonna go get some more of this. I assume we need a couple pounds if we're gonna. Yeah. We'd already established that no one knows. I mean, the debt is paid.
Yeah.
His life from mine.
Yeah. He's eager to see Lord Jacob dead, so Jacob Redwing is the full name.
Yeah. So I set the root awkwardly. The shack doesn't even have a kitchen or anything?
No.
Like
there's a small fire pit that it looks not like a mouse made it, but there's a crude fire pit that has been built in here.
Inside the shack or outside the shack?
Inside the shack.
All right. Well, I set the nightshade root near the fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat it, okay?
Comes the cackling laughter of a man with no tongue.
Right. Kind of gives me the willies, but gotta. He's the best I got right now. He's about as good as they come.
As good as they.
If only we could get him a new tongue.
Maybe you can cut someone else's off and sew it onto his, and use a cure disease to prevent him from contracting whatever disease, whatever condition it is that makes your body reject new limbs.
It's not a disease. It's called your immune system.
Yeah. It could be if it's an autoimmune disease. Immune system.
Yeah. I'm gonna step outside and try and locate the shore. I got to roleplay a 6-inch character. Maybe we should just roll for the direction that I walk.
You can find the shore. You could see it from the hill that you were on before.
Okay. So I'm gonna head towards the bluffs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You make it to the bluffs after 15 minutes or so of walking.
Do I see any ships on the horizon?
You do. You see a few sails out in the sea. A couple of them are going parallel to you. One of them is actually fairly close, maybe 200 feet off the coast. It's a smaller ship that's kind of skipping along, going very quickly. I take it back. No, it's not a sailing ship going quickly. It is a small galley being propelled by oars. Because I have a new map that shows wind patterns for this region. I'm
I've
getting my
always
shit
wanted to do
together.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took like an atmospheric physics course in college and went through all of that shit, calculating Coriolis forces and whatnot.
Seriously? That sounds awesome.
Winds and stuff on a sphere.
And what happened with all of this knowledge?
It's buried in there somewhere. But I've thought of like trying to like convert it into. I mean, they'd people like nerds do that shit. Like I mean, and like do that all the time, like modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to update our map with.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No worries. I'm going to
Oh,
update our map with a map that has wind so you can see patterns and shit. And I can see them, and I can make better sense of things. But you see a few boats and ships out in the water doing the thing.
But I was saying I thought like applying that to like your world building stuff. I've never actually done that for D&D. There's like there's like whole like our Reddit world builders groups or whatever that do this stuff for fun. But I don't know that many people like building a self-consistent universe that obeys the laws of physics. Oh wow.
Sounds so nice.
So have you you got like your globe and figured out where the equator is and
Yeah, vaguely. I mean,
trade winds or is this like a non-spherical geometry?
I don't know yet. But it's pretty. It's also
Tyrus is way too stupid to understand what's going on.
Yeah. That's fine. He doesn't have to know. It can just be for us. It can be our little secret. Don't tell anyone. There we go. That should be about right. Is that right? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so you're somewhere over here. If you can see where I'm moving shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not that far out. You're probably, 10, 15 miles.
Badass. I got 14 strength and 15 con. I mean, I got us a couple miles from Redport.
Yeah, you're 10 or 15 miles out. So the ships that are going this way along the coastline are under the power of oars. So you're looking out over these ships, looking at these things, and what else do you spot but a party of... oh yeah, you're a paladin. You would absolutely know what these are. You spot a party of 5 hobgoblins down by the shoreside. It appears that 3 of them are wading into the water with large nets, while the other 2 hang out on the shore, weapons drawn. They have...
I've seen a hobgoblin before?
Yes. Back on the mainland, you had worked with them before.
I probably have a lot of respect for them. They're probably the best mercenaries you can come upon. Yes,
they are typically much smarter than than the other goblinoid races. Quite a bit smarter, actually. Smarter than, I mean, maybe not smarter than most humans, but they certainly rival human intelligence from time to time. And they are well armed and well trained. These guys here are wearing... they're wearing hide armor and seem to be carrying pole arms, crude pole arms. They seem to be less well armored and less well armed than the hobgoblins you know. It looks like...
I hope that their perception is lower than mine and give them a wide berth.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm erring on the side of caution. Are these guys on the beach that I landed on, or are they do I spot them on the way?
They are down on the beach, 300 feet from you to the west.
And I think the remains of our boat is on the shore somewhere. I assume still there. I think I pulled it up as a struck. I think we slept under it the first night.
Right. Looking down at the beach, you don't actually see the boat anywhere. You're getting the feeling that you were dragged quite a ways to this shack.
So this isn't where I landed.
No, this is not where you landed.
Can I see Redport's? Oh,
It's like
I
10
know
miles
far.
off, but the lighthouse at Redport, Lighthouse Keep, is 10 stories. So it's a pretty tall building. Still, I don't know if you could see
If
it.
I'm more
if it's,
than like 4 miles, 3 miles or so, it's not going to be visible.
Yeah, you definitely can't see it then.
Like I think that's just like the curvature of the Earth on a clear day. Your vision is like 3 miles, and usually with weather patterns, whatever, it's even less.
Okay. Then yeah, you can't see it.
Now mountains and stuff are different, but
Right, they stick up pretty high. 10 stories is, what, 100 feet or so?
yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's like a tall tree.
Yeah.
So I probably can't see Redport.
No, not at all.
Or the west. It's definitely east.
Yeah.
Definitely east. So I get inland enough that I avoid the hobgoblins and then circle to another spot on the cliff.
Okay. You walk for another hour just to be sure that you're away from the hobgoblins. Do you walk? The hobgoblins are southwest. Redport is northeast. Which direction do you head?
Due east. So once I've traveled away from the hobgoblins, I'll go back to the cliff and travel east
Cool.
towards Redport, away from the hobgoblins.
All right. You
And
pop
I'll be
down.
walking along the bluffs, or if I can get to the beach, I'll walk on the beach.
Sure.
I got these big old boots that go like up to, most of the way up my shins.
Mm-hmm.
Stop right below the knee. So it's probably awkward trudging, but at least I don't get any sand in my shoes.
Not a problem.
I don't think Tyrus likes the beach.
No.
I'm mostly keeping my eye on the cliffside or on the hillside for nightshade roots. The yellow and red flowers.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception. No, you don't need a perception check.
Willpower check at -1,000,000, or some wisdom for what you call it, herbalism.
No. You just walking along the beach for a bit. You do spot them. They seem to be growing 10 or 15 feet up on the cliffside. They're kind of a hard to get area, but you've scaled the cliffs before. They're not that difficult.
Yeah. I was just checking my notes. It's the ripest when they're crimson. When the red is crimson red.
Mm-hmm.
So like the darker the red, I guess, the better
Yeah.
the more poisony are the roots.
Yep.
So I'll like try and pick out a batch of flowers that I think is the reddest without actually scaling.
Sure.
And
You come across a few.
and then just get like directly below it and try to scale the 15 feet straight up. So
Give me a climbing check. Your base is
I think it was
40, but
it's 55 based because like
yeah, I think that's what we did.
I'm in studded leather, but you were saying that there were like handholds because it's a cliffside.
It's a pretty rocky cliffside, so yeah, 55% chance to scale it.
Okay. 17 makes it no matter, either way. So I scale up to 10, 15 feet to reach out the roots.
Not a problem.
And I get myself positioned, like both feet planted on holds and left hand planted, and I dig the roots out of the cliff face.
They pop out easily.
I shove them in. I hope I have a backpack. I don't have a backpack.
Well, you have a belt, right?
I shove them between my leather armor and my leather pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's like wedged in my crotch region. And scamper over. Are there a bunch in this little area, or do I see them more separated up and down the coast?
There are a few here, and you go down the coast a little bit. We can use your same climbing check for this whole section of the beach because it's all pretty much the same.
I think, actually, the rules as written are like you roll one climbing check per area.
Right.
And they define that much larger than we have typically.
Mm-hmm. So you head down, climb up, get some more Head down a little bit more, find another really good one, pick it. After about half an hour of picking roots, you
My
feel that you are
are my
more than
trousers
satisfied.
full? Are my trousers full of nightshade?
These yellow and crimson plants just popping off of you. The roots are a deep purple.
Okay. Yeah. I start making my way back to wherever, like whatever way down. Are they cliffs or is it just hillside? Do I need to
It's
like?
cliffs down by the beach, and then rolling hills on top.
So I find a ravine to climb up, and
Sure.
I withdraw the nightshade from my trousers and like try and hold it as a bundle in my hand.
All right.
I get more comfortable on the walk back. I
Sure.
don't see anything unusual on the horizon. No ships coming closer, dropping off soldiers to tear me to pieces.
No, nothing of the sort.
Good. Good.
Um,
Just as planned.
yeah, you take your time strolling, or maybe not. I don't know. You stroll back to the cabin, the little thing. It's another hour back, but you get there. You've been gone almost 3 hours now, and when you return, you return to no one sheep left in the little hut. The others seem to have either wandered off or been driven out or escaped. The one that's left is still unconscious from the battering that it got on the head, and you're wondering if maybe it was actually killed.
Are there how many? Where are the bodies of the sheep?
There's no other bodies, just this one.
Okay. Am I inside? Wait.
Yeah,
I go
you're
inside the
inside.
shop.
Mouse is hanging out, still napping on the sheep.
How many? Wait, I'm confused.
Okay, there's one sheep inside the building. There used to be like a small flock, but now there's just one.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Tires don't notice.
Yeah.
I come in and I unload all my roots next to the fire.
Okay. Mouse comes up, comes over, looks at them, and gives you an approving nod.
Crimson petals, best petals. And then give him a thumbs up. Is there a fire lit yet? Or is it after? What time of day is it? I don't even know when I woke
It's
up.
afternoon. There's no fire right now.
Okay. So, do you know what to do with these, or do we have to get creative?
He nods slowly and motions for you to bring him the roots.
Bet you're gonna want that knife now, aren't you? I say jokingly as I bring the roots next to him and squat down.
He takes the roots, pops the flowers off of them, and looks around for some sort of implements. Is there anything in here that he could use as a mortar and pestle? He looks around for a few minutes and shrugs.
Tyrus is dumb, but he's got a small shield. It's probably a little round metal shield that just like fits on his forearm.
Okay,
Tyrus notices this, but I'm sure that this muted mage would see the shield.
Yeah, he sees the shield and motions to it and goes up, gets the knife, puts the roots in the shield and starts bashing them with the butt of the knife, mashing them into this kind of weird pasty material.
Tyrus looks through the flowers and finds the reddest one.
All right, there's a nice bright yellow and crimson one.
And he detaches the flower from the root, just as he watched Mouse do.
What do you do with the flower?
I put it in my hair.
Oh.
I set the root back down in the pile with the rest of them.
Okay.
And probably stand up and wander off as Mouse does the work.
Mm-hmm. So he mashes them up for a little while, adds some sheep's blood to the mix, mashes it up a little bit more, starts to light a fire, which takes a little while, and then puts your shield over the fire to kind of cook through. The whole process takes maybe 2 hours to get it done, but after the paste mixed with the blood boils for a little bit, he takes it off, cools it down, and you are left with this it's like this, like a solid thing that he bashes up with the butt of the knife, kind of creating a little bit of a powder, and you're left with this big double handful of powder, a weird purplish powder.
I assume it's got to. Does this happen all in like a couple of hours, or
Yeah,
does this
a couple of
powder take-
hours.
That's some witchcraft right there. Isn't that shit supposed to dry or something? Where'd all the
I mean,
water go?
he boiled it. He cooked it.
Concentrate of nightshade.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to transport the powdered nightshade?
How does he hand it to me?
He just hands you the shield with the powder in it.
Okay, that's cool. Let's see. I mean, it's like getting towards evening time now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sun's about to set.
How long does this stay fresh?
Mm. He gives a nonchalant answer, just kind of waving his hand.
Days, weeks,
Mm-hmm.
a month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I set the shield in the corner of the hut.
With the powder still in it?
Yeah, powder's still in it.
Okay.
I try and secure it, and I don't know. I got 6 intelligence. I'm not sharpest tool in the shed.
Do you have any bags or pouches that you could put it in?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Well, what would you like to do now?
I'd like to heal, and I'll probably point that out to Mouse in one way or another, but in game terms. Be like, point to the big ass. Actually, I've probably got a big old lump on my head.
Mm-hmm.
Dick, and it's probably bled all over the place. And I assume he bandaged it or something.
Yeah, I think it was actually your arm that you got hit in. It was like the arm-head combo. So you've got this big, like, swollen area on your arm, and your head is throbbing. But we can just skip forward a few days if you would like, and I will let you know if there are any encounters during that period of time.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm getting at. I'm assuming Mouse seems patient, probably more patient than I am.
He spent a long time in jail.
Yeah. So I'm at 1 HP out of 8. I'd like to be at 8 HP out of 8.
Okay.
If Mouse will get me there, and
It'll take you 4 days of resting to get to full HP.
Okay.
So let's roll some encounter checks. You are in the plains. So that's day 1. That's day 2. That's day 3. That's day 4. Well, let's take this day at a time. Where's my tables, everybody? Okay. 1, 7, 6.
So we go to sleep that night.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up the next day. I'm at 3 HP.
Yeah.
So Tyrus, is he treating my wounds? Does he like stop me in the evening and like redress my bandages or something like that?
Yeah, he seems to know what he's doing, and he's taking care of you. He's very plainly like, he's torn part of your cloak to pieces to...
Stop doing those push-ups, you idiot. You gotta let that wound heal.
Yeah, he just keeps you calm and relaxed.
No, you don't rub the sheep's blood in the wound. You drink it. Or whatever crazy...
Whatever voodoo that he does, he performs. So the next day, I gotta pull up this encounter. Doop doop boop 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 boo. How big are these things? The next day, you wake up to the caws of vultures outside the window or outside the little hut.
I just wake up to this.
Yeah, in the morning.
Right. So I stand up and I grab my sword holster and my sword by the sheath and step outside.
Okay, you open the door and standing before you are 6 giant vultures. Their wingspan is about 5 feet.
So
No,
like a condor. That's actually not even.
no, they're 5 feet long. Their wingspan is 12 feet. Yeah, they're large vultures. They're called giant vultures in the Monstrous Manual, but they're just like a vulture and a half.
That's a little bigger than the condor. Do you remember going to the Natural History Museum in Santa Barbara?
Yes.
And they had like there were like stuffed condors there.
I
And there's also live condors. There's probably I think at the Santa Barbara Zoo even. They're like native to where we're from, but they're dead everywhere because of pesticides or some shit. Anyway, world record wingspan, I think, and they're like on the order of
Oh
10
yeah,
feet.
that's absolutely what they are. Condors are giant vultures, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they're related. They're closest, I think, common relative is
I'm
vulture.
looking at pictures of them, and they are ugly motherfuckers. They're
Oh yeah, I mean they're carrion feeders, and they've got like a 10-foot wingspan.
yeah. So this is basically
So this is
a
like a
pack of
little.
large condors.
So they're not huge. I mean they're like
No.
they only weigh probably less than they're like 20 pounds or less. I mean,
Yeah, they're
birds
just
are light. They've just got a huge ass wingspan. They're like waist level. For
Mhm.
Tyrus a little bigger. It's still big
uh,
ass fucking birds.
yeah, they're huge, but yeah, they're
Get off my porch, you big ass birds.
oh,
Um,
okay.
I think
They seem to be picking apart the remains of the previous sheep that you guys had eaten. That that had been left outside. Actually, no, they're picking apart the body of the child and the dog.
we left the child outside.
It seems that the body was moved outside sometime after you went to sleep,
I
and the
changed
vultures
my
are picking it
attitude.
apart.
I stopped shouting immediately. This is a good omen. These creatures were sent here by Verossi to destroy our evidence. Thank you, vultures. And I shut the door and get on with my day.
Okay.
How long do the vultures? I mean, they probably pick the bodies clean for hours.
It takes the rest of the day for them to finish it off, and then they move on.
Like circle the hut. Yeah, Mouse and I probably lie low that day. Stay inside.
Cool.
Run out of water or something like that. But for the most part,
Yeah,
leave
water
the
does
giant
seem to
vultures
be
alone.
a slight issue. Later, partway through the day, Mouse leads you out and around the back of the hut to stay away from the vultures, and takes you down to a creek, maybe a half-mile away, where he has found water. And you guys can drink from it, but you don't have any containers for pulling it
I have a
back.
wineskin.
There you go.
I think it's like half a gallon or so of just I guess sack for my water.
Sure.
So I drink as much as I can, and then I fill up my wineskin.
Okay. You fill it up. You guys spend the rest of the day lying low, resting. The next day comes along.
So I'm up to 5 HP.
5. Common. Okay. Sure. So the next day, is there anything you plan on doing the next day, or are you just staying in the hut?
I'll go outside if there's no vultures, but probably late at night. I've got pasty white skin, and I don't want to get a sunburn.
Okay. Where do you go?
Sunburns are not metal at all. So probably at like evening when I'm first waking up, I'll like circle around, do like a spiral out a couple miles.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
20 plus 11. Nope, not paying any attention. But I'd be wearing my studded leather and have all my shit with me.
Okay. As you walk around, at a certain point, you hear this sort of noise. It sounds like the growling of a very large cat that I am unable to perform with my throat.
I thought it was magnificent.
Thank you.
I think first thing will be draw my sword and then try and figure out where the cat is. And cats are pussies.
Okay. You see, looking
Gotta
around towards the sound of the voice,
write them off.
uh, you see what looks to be a very small pride of lionesses, maybe
Lions? Like
lions,
like like like
like
lions? Lions?
like shred you to bits with their claws, lions.
How many would that be?
Three. You see three of them, and they are at a decent distance looking at you and just growling menacingly.
I've never used my cause fear on an animal, but I'm gonna try. But maybe we should go to a break and roll initiative when we get back, or roll initiative and start combat when we get back.
Sure. Let's
Which
take our break and we'll come back with some